Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today. I am Megan Grove, the Customer Engineer at MX Data, and I'm very excited to present Textmunication for Retail Pro, which is a SMS marketing solution, which is very cool. With me today, I have Nick Miniello from Textmunication, and he's going to be the one going through the presentation and also doing a demo for us. So Nick, I will go ahead and pass it on to you to get started.
Thank you, Megan. I really appreciate that. Thank you, MX Data, for having me. And thank you, everyone, for your time today and attending this webinar session. As Megan said, my name is Nick Miniello with Textmunication. Textmunication is a communication technology company with an emphasis on text messaging, today's most effective and popular forms of communication, which is SMS messaging and multimedia MMS messaging. We're a company that's been in business for over 13 years. We have extensive experience in this technology space. We're located in the San Francisco Bay Area in Northern California. We are a preferred and integrated partner company of MX Data and your POS system solution, Retail Pro. And I am also very excited, like Megan, to share this solution that we built for you. This is a pure A to Z complete mobile messaging solution that's automated and integrated with your POS database for database access and automation. So without further ado, what I'd like to do is discuss the importance of text messaging. Why do we need text messaging today? I know we all probably text each other, friends, family, and colleagues. But from a marketing standpoint, you might not be familiar with that yet. But since American Idol introduced text messaging to the world in a never-seen way before, where they encouraged the viewers of that show to participate in the outcome by placing their votes via text message. And since then, we've seen this technology kind of growing like wildfire. Okay, so here's some of the advantages of text message marketing that I have here on the screen. I would say still today, the number one ingredient or the number one advantage is the speed, the instantaneous factor. Text messaging, it's the fastest, it's the easiest, and it's the most used communication channel available. And the efficiency behind text messaging is 98% read rate. 85% are read within 5 minutes of delivery. You know, we don't typically see those metrics with email, right? Email can be very challenging. It always has its place, but it's very slow, and read rates are very low, right? Because of these high efficiency rates with texting, we see higher click-through rates up to 38%. Increased conversions, as retailers report, a 400% higher return on investment with mobile messaging, texting, over, say, an email campaign or email program. 400%. All right. And then advantages also come with integrations. All right. Like we have with Retail Pro to support database automation, easier management, and the ability to trigger smart messaging using key data points and consumer patterns. Right. And that's really what we've done with this integration, is leveraging your customer behaviors, patterns, what they've purchased in the past, and we're able to leverage those key data points and automate solutions based on your needs. Last but not least, you're building a valuable opt-in database that provides you targetability with your messaging. Right? Gaining consent from consumers is the first step, having them opt in. Our solution will do this for you automatically, and we're going to do it extremely well. Then, as this database is growing, and with the solution being integrated with your Retail Pro POS, you'll have the ability to send the right message to the right person at the right time. All this equates to boosting sales, driving traffic, and providing exceptional customer service. Text messaging is a great way to augment existing workflows and communication strategies. And that's really what this does, guys. When I look at text messaging, there's not only from a marketing and engagement standpoint, sending promotional messaging, but I also look at it from a customer service standpoint. Being able to serve my consumers better, my customers better, giving them an experience that makes it easy for them, filling the communication gaps. So as we go into this webinar a little bit, we'll share some use cases that text messaging doesn't necessarily always have to be about marketing. It can also support the customer experience as well and retain customers. So before we jump into the demo and I introduce to you our product SAM, which stands for Smart Automated Messaging, I'd like to review some of these consumer stats. Some of these are interesting here, right? We know texting is the most heavily used forms of communication. There's more text messages going out on a daily basis than there's phone calls and emails sent. But what about from the consumer side, right? And these stats here show me we have a large audience that we need to take advantage of and consider, texting as part of our communication strategy to some capacity because they're asking us to text them, right? So let's look at some of these. 83% of consumers would like to receive transactional customer service text messages, right? I would say in today's day and age, when I shop online, it's very rare that I do not see a retailer asking me at checkout if I'd like to receive updates via text message, or if I'd like to receive shipping updates and delivery confirmations via text message, right? 54% of consumers want to receive offers and promotions via text. So a little bit higher on the customer support side, but still over 50% wanting to receive promotional offers from their favorite retailers. That's a large audience we cannot ignore, and an opportunity for us all. 25% of consumers tell us they redeem promotions via text within 3 days. 60% tell us they redeem promotions within a week. And up to 63% of consumers want to respond to text messages they receive. Yes, it's true. Some people nowadays just simply don't want to talk. And consumers will engage back. They will actively text the business. They will respond to messaging they receive. Sam manages all of those conversations for you and your team. Check out that next one. Top 3 industries consumers say they are most likely to opt into text messaging. Number 1, I find that fascinating. It's e-commerce and retail, with healthcare and banking to follow up secondary and third. So our industry that we're in today is the number 1 and most likely industry that consumers would opt into. 50% of consumers say they would opt into an SMS loyalty program if they were offered flash deals and coupons. The top 3 SMS messaging customers say they like to receive, the top text messages in terms of what they'd like to receive on their phone there at the bottom. 75% want order statuses, shipping, and confirmations. 65% want promotional offers and loyalty. And 46% want their reminders and scheduling reminders via text. So some interesting stats there that I wanted to share here with everybody before, just to kind of get our minds thinking of, why we need text messaging, why we need to consider it as a direct way to communicate with our consumers, especially if they're asking us to, as it all works on an opt-in, opt-out basis. So with that being said, let me introduce you briefly to Sam. Again, SAM stands for Smart Automated Messaging. It's one of our products that we offer at Textmunication along with our API services. So if you're an organization that has a development team or IT team and you have your own internal proprietary application or software and you prefer to enable messaging in that application, SAM has that ability with our API. For those that need an interface, which is more common, we have our web application here is what I'm showing you now. The 3 pillars of this program, number 1 is going to be establishing opt-ins. The first way to establish opt-ins, everybody, is going to be through keyword and QR code marketing. Just like I have here on the screen, keyword and QR code marketing. And if you'd like to engage with that with your phone, feel free to do so. Consumers can text a unique keyword in, such as what you see on the screen, text MXD to 52236, or they can scan QR codes with their phone camera. And this would be considered one of the main opt-in sources. Now, the beauty of this tool is it can be marketed anywhere. I see this on television commercials. I hear it on radio channels. I see that on direct mailers. I see this being promoted on social media, email. This can be marketed. This opt-in tool, keyword and QR code marketing, can be marketed in just about any place possible. The more places it's advertised, the more impressions our customers make and the more opt-ins that they gain. Now, the call to action is critical. Why are they opting in? Or why are they scanning? Why should they text in? Or why should they scan the QR code to opt in? Well, typically that's going to come down to your call to action. Are we encouraging them to opt in to join a program for exclusive perks and offers? Do we have some sort of offer that we're attracting them to opt in for a promotional offer? Are we having them opt in for info, or maybe even to participate in some sort of game? Some sort of gaming feature that SAM supports, like a mobile scratcher or spinning wheel. When consumers opt into this process, their information, cell phone number, is immediately captured into your database, and SAM, our solution, will start a conversation back to them immediately via SMS text or MMS messaging with your auto reply campaign. So I'll give everyone a moment or two here just for a couple of seconds. If you'd like to engage with that, go ahead and flash your camera at the QR code, or feel free to text the word MXD to 52236. Give everyone a moment there, and then I'm going to share 2 additional opt-in tools and show you where messaging resides in SAM. All right. Thank you for that. So let's go ahead and look at our next opt-in tool. The next opt-in tool is what we call an online web form. Online web forms are customizable in the sense of what attributes do you want to collect on your form. You can upload your logo to your form for branding purposes, give it a theme at the top, and a call to action as to why someone should fill out this form. These forms are typically leveraged on your website or social media platforms for online signups and participation. So if I'm a visitor of your website, I'm shopping, I'm browsing, I might see a call to action or an opportunity for me to join a VIP club or a mobile fan club or your text club, or to simply receive updates via text message. Upon completion of the form, the data is collected, it's opted into your database, and consumer receives autoresponder messaging. So that would be considered your secondary form of opt-in, capturing consent and the ability to message consumers. Let's look at the third opt-in source, and really this one is going to be your bread and butter, and I believe will build your database in your opt-in list the fastest. So we're looking at SAM now, our software application, web application. You can access it from anywhere. And within the auto SMS screen, we have an automated functionality that we call new customer welcome messages. New customer welcome messages. So as customers are in-store shopping and at point of sale, if you were to enter the customer's name and phone number or information into your POS system, they would qualify to receive an immediate welcome message from our text messaging solution if you have it turned on, integrated with Retail Pro. That welcome message thanks them for their visit and for shopping with you today, and it asks them if they'd like to receive updates and offers via text message, and I'm highlighting that on the screen now. So at point of sale, we have an automated opt-in process for you that will ask and invite every customer to opt into your program. Once they confirm and opt in, then a sequence of messaging can auto follow up with that consumer over a period of time. Maybe you want to invite them to download an app, or like you and follow you on social media, or send them a 30-day follow-up offer. There's no limit to how many messages here you can set up, and you're in full control of the scheduling parameters in the sense of when you want each message following up with your newly opted in customer. So there's some opportunity here to get them acclimated with other programs, promotions, get them to come back for another visit or shop online with a promo code and purchase. Invite them to join a loyalty program if you have that. So I look at new customer welcome messages as an opportunity to not only establish an opt-in, but to engage my customer from the start and kind of steer them down a journey that I want them to take and get them fully engaged with our business. So those are the three main opt-in tools. We provide you a point of sale automated opt-in tool that interacts with Retail Pro as data is being entered into your POS system. We give you an integrated opportunity online with the web forms. And by the way, if you have your own web forms, then we can also leverage, you might need to update your form to either collect a cell phone number or add an SMS disclaimer to your current web forms. So if you're currently collecting cell phone numbers on a web form on your website, it would be recommended as a best practice recommendation to disclaim on that form in fine print that by putting their cell phone number, that they're opting in to receive text messages. So you do have the option to continue using your forms or ours. And then the third opt-in tool is going to be a point of sale, right, through your POS, and then your keyword and QR code, which can be marketed anywhere. So now let's get into messaging briefly. So really this solution breaks down to three pillars, right? You have your opt-in marketing campaigns, your opt-in messaging. Then you have a campaign center here for your marketing team to conduct ad hoc campaigns, right? Halloween's coming up. We might want to send out Halloween promotions. The holiday season is fast approaching. So there's a lot of opportunity for us to get marketing out there, promotional messaging, and drive sales for Q4 of this year and coming out of the new year. But I like to call this campaign center the engine that provides immediate engagement with the masses. It supports group messaging. It supports individual messaging. And it also supports inbound communication where, customers, recipients of your messaging can reply back. They can ask, are certain inventory items in? And you'll get notified and you can reply back letting them know that it's available and how they can purchase it. So setting up a group message is really, really easy. You have a send now or a schedule option, so you can schedule in advance. There's different types of campaigns you can run. SMS, standard text messaging, is going to be your bread and butter, as is MMS. MMS allows you to upload direct media files like pictures, images, and videos that can be sent out with your messaging, right? SMS is very powerful. It's a great delivery tool to link people up in a text message to your website for e-commerce and shopping and browsing. We see a lot of success with our online retailers with that. And the main difference between SMS and MMS would be SMS we know is black and white plain text, short message service, but you have the ability to include URL links to expand upon that message. So an example might say, hey, we have an exclusive promotion today. VIP customers can get 15% off their online purchase. Use promo code 15OFF. Click here to start shopping, or click here to view new inventory products. And then that would just take them to your website where they can start shopping and browsing, right? And you can enter that URL here into your message. An MMS message sends the media directly with the message without a URL link. They don't have to click on a link. All right. So as we go through the steps of setting up a message, you would give it a name. Name goes here. You can save template messages in your account to make the messaging experience expedited and easier, and it just auto-fills your campaign for you. We do have auto inserts available, such as personalization, including the recipient's name in the message. Generating promo codes for tracking redemption and ROI, and also online ordering links. So if you have the ability for consumers to shop online and buy product online, we can drive them to those pages there within messaging to browse and shop. Now, you also got options on how long you want your message to be. Our system goes as high as 459 characters, which is great. Typically, SMS is 160 characters. Messages are created here on your message line. right? There's also an emoji library if that's your thing and you want to insert emojis. Group selection is where your targetability comes into play. So as you're accumulating opt-ins, right, your customer database from Retail Pro is going to funnel over into our system, and you will have filters for segmentation based on visits, purchases, purchase amounts, what they ordered, what they bought, when they bought it, what their name is, how many times they visited, what their age demographic is. And leveraging these filters will allow us and our solution to give you automated segmentation. So that way we can send targeted campaigns out to the right audience. All right. So now once you've selected your group, you then go to the next step of review your campaign. All right, this gives you a visual of what it's going to cosmetically look like to recipients. Why don't I go ahead and do this for you? I'm going to actually send you a quick message. Reply back with the word features when received. So what I'm going to share with you is when you receive this example message and you respond back with the word features, you'll have a demonstration of some other capabilities our messaging platform offers that you can try on your phone on some free time here, or I can touch on them towards the end of the webinar. So once you review your campaign, you kind of get a visual of what's going to look like. If you want to send it to your phone first as a preview, you can. For compliance purposes, we have an opt-out at the bottom of every message that's already reserved. Our customers do not need to remember to incorporate that into their messaging. And when ready, you send or schedule your message. Now, the bandwidth on this system is extremely fast. It sends about 125 messages per second. I've already received that message that I hit sent on. So for those that decided to opt in to the keyword or QR code earlier, I'm willing to bet you got that message already as well. So it's very instantaneous. Whether you're texting 5 people, 500 people, 5,000 people, or even say 50,000 people at one time. Okay. So that's our group messaging component. Again, there's individual messaging if we need to text or message an individual customer. And then we also have our inbox for two-way communication where we can see customer replies. We can see conversations we've had with them, and we can respond back to them if need be. Now, I kind of see two folds from this section of our platform. We have customers that really, really love managing these conversations, and they have the resources and capacity to do so. They oftentimes find buying questions in here or sales inquiries. We also work with customers that don't have the capacity to administer this, the messaging. So they come here and they establish automated replies, right? So if consumers do text or they reply back, at least they're getting some sort of response and acknowledgement versus getting no response. So you have that option to configure that. And there's also an MMS inbox in the event you need to receive images or pictures back from a customer. So this will be pillar one of your platform, your campaign center, to send out emergencies, important updates, marketing, and events. Auto SMS dashboard here to your left would be your second pillar, and this is where things get interesting. Auto SMS is designed to be your automated messaging dashboard. It has the mindset of create it, enable it, and forget about it. Turn it on and forget about it and let it go to work for you, right? So some of the common messaging that we can enable would be like birthday messaging. The ability to greet customers on their day of their birthday or X amount of days before, right? I know everyone loves to shop for their birthday. My wife is one of them. We go to dinner or we go traveling and she wants to go shopping before her birthday. Giving them a birthday promotion, would be a nice touch in relationship building with consumers. So automated birthday messaging, reoccurring campaigns. So you can automate just about anything you want to automate that supports your needs, whether it's a daily message, weekly message, or monthly message. We covered the new new customer welcome messages, again, which is a sequence of messaging that will greet customers, ask them or invite them to opt into texting, and then it initiates a sequence of follow-ups. We can automate, we miss you text messages for those that haven't purchased in X amount of time. We can automate receipts being delivered to consumers' phones versus printing them at point of sale. So this is an opportunity, I believe, that will support all of the customer support messaging, the customer experience messaging, confirmations, reminders, deliveries, shipments, loyalty messaging. We can trigger loyalty messages if they're participating in a rewards program or utilizing our loyalty feature that Sam offers. So this will be your automated dashboard, and we can pretty much automate anything that is feasible within the Retail Pro integration and any data point that they provide to us. So we will display those data points to you here, and based on what your business needs are and what you'd like to automate is what we can enable for you. And then the third piece would be your gamification features, right? Engaging with consumers in a different fashion. And for those that replied back with the word features, you're probably looking at a message on your phone right now that demonstrates some of these functionalities. So Sam supports gaming features such as a spinning wheel campaign. And if you're engaging with that message now, it's going to be the first URL in the message. And essentially, it's a game. Our users can set up promotions and prizes on a wheel, and they can encourage consumers in a text message to play the game and see what promotion they win. And when they spin the wheel, where it lands is what gets messaged to them. The next option down would be your mobile scratcher. And this is basically a lottery ticket on our phones. You would message consumers with your logo or an image and encourage that they swipe it off with their phone screen with their fingertips to see what lies behind. Very, very fun for retailers. There's also a referral functionality you'll see in that text message as well. And that is a great way to reach new people, new consumers in our communities. So how this works is you would message your opt-in database with a promotional offer, and you would encourage that they forward and share with a friend. And they can pass that message and forward it up to any amount of friends that they personally know. And when their friend receives it, they're receiving a message from someone they know and trust. They're not getting a spam message from a business, and it invites them to opt into your texting to redeem the offer that the friend is referring to them. So it's a great way to reach new people outside of your database, get new people opted into your text messaging database to increase your reach, and drive a transaction in store or online. And then there's also a trivia functionality. If you wanted to get feedback, conduct a survey, have a trivia game with customers, our system supports that as well. You'll see that in the message. And all of these features can also be branded. So you're looking at a generic demo now with no branding. But as you can see here, you can upload your logos or images to each functionality. So that way, your brand, your business is branded on all of the messaging features. All right, let me navigate away from here. We're going to jump back to some slides here just to wrap this up here shortly. Let me put this here in presentation. Okay. All right, so let's talk about some use cases. What are the main use cases that I see, us here, using text messaging at our business, using mobile messaging. So, one is going to be promotional messaging and marketing, right? Marketing in the sense of marketing your opt-in tools to attract new customers and gain new opt-ins, but then also sending out marketing or promotional messages from time to time when you want to proactively. All right. Loyalty messaging is going to be a great one. Being able to leverage a rewards program or loyalty program to trigger certain benchmarks or points or promotions that they've earned with their loyalty program. Now, we have a built-in loyalty program into this solution, which is optional for customers to use. I also believe Retail Pro has a loyalty program built in, so we can leverage either or. And then you get into some non-promotional messaging, transactional messaging, right? Confirmations, reminders, shipping updates, inventory updates, customer service surveys, feedback, receipts, being able to send a receipt via text versus printing, and then customer service messaging as well, to kind of streamline that process and fill any kind of communication gaps from business to consumer. So I see these being the most common use cases in the retail space. Primarily breaks down to promotional, non-promotional, and transactional messaging. All right, let's talk about what makes messaging successful. You know, how to run a good program, right? So we have, sorry about that. All right, so we got to establish a clear call to action, right? Using the automated opt-in tools. Why should consumers opt in? What are we saying to them to get them to opt in? And if you think about it, there's a few different strategies that I've been common with and that I've seen. You know, we can be straightforward and use a text to join theme. Hey, join our messaging program for this reason, right? Some might decide to beef that up a little bit and use a call to action that entices them to opt in for an offer. We all know consumers like flash deals, instant gratification, so you can boost your opt-in ratios by incorporating an offer into your call to action. Another good one to boost opt-in ratios would be contesting. Consumers love to engage in contests and participate in contests. Another would be, opt-in for information or to register for a program or, for ongoing support. So call to action is important. When I look at call to actions as well, I look at quantity versus quality. What's your preference? Quantity would be text to join, right? Join our program for exclusive offers and updates. When you encourage an offer or a contest, your opt-in ratio might increase. But when you have people joining just to join the program, they really love your establishment. So I look at that as like a quality versus quantity debate. We want to market the program for success, right? If consumers don't see your program or they don't see where they can opt in, then it's not going to be very successful. So we got to market the program for success. We made that easy with the integration of Retail Pro at point of sale, gaining opt-ins very quickly and easily at point of sale. But in terms of marketing the keyword and QR code, you do want to piggyback any marketing and advertising that your team might be conducting. Have a clear opt-in and opt-out process, which we've identified. So if you are using this solution today, you don't have to ask anyone to opt in, and you don't have to manually opt anyone out. Consumers, it's a pure automated opt-in and opt-out basis, all driven by the consumer's phone, not anything that staff members or you have to do. Okay. I recommend as well sending relevant offers, relevant info, and relevant offers. Let me minimize this real quick. Okay. All right. So we want to send relevant information, right? And great offers. Make our messaging count. Okay. We also don't want to overkill. We don't want to inundate our consumers and text them too much. So there is strategies on how often we should be texting our audience, right? So in the retail space, our recommendation is I would not exceed more than 8 messages in a given month. That's a maximum of 2 per week. You might scale that down to 4 or 5 per month, or maybe 6 per month. But 8 is the recommended formula. We would not recommend exceeding 8. Consider incorporating images, pictures, and videos into your messaging. It does increase the performance and conversion rates. And use an integrated single solution. You want to be integrated because, it provides a more robust messaging experience. It allows for the database automation, right? The database access and automation. There are lots of text message programs out there, and text message programs are good where you collect opt-ins and you send a text out to everybody. But what makes messaging more impactful and provides a better experience, not only for you, but for your customers, is an integrated solution. You know, knowing more about the customer, leveraging that detail and that info on the customer to trigger smart automated messaging. It also becomes easier to administer when you have an integrated solution, right? If you're a small team and don't have resources to really manage something like this, then you have the ability to automate it because of the integration, right? And then using a single solution is advised because you want to have the ability to manage opt-ins and opt-out data very easily, right? So let's say you're using two different products and they both offer texting. You might have someone opted out on one of the platforms, but then they receive a text message on the secondary platform, and that's a no-no. We want database to be one to manage opt-out data. So when people opt out by replying stop, your customers, it flags them in our database, in the Retail Pro database, as an opt-out, and they don't receive text messages again unless they were to opt back in. And if you're using two separate platforms that text, or two different types of products that send text messages, they would need to be opted out of both. So to prevent that to prevent messaging someone that has opted out, it's recommended to use one solution. Last but not least, work with the right team. And you have the right team here with MX Data and Textmunication. We're going to support you every step of the way, from onboarding to your messaging experience. And that leads me into the next slide here. Bear with me here. There we go. So why Textmunication? All right, so we have a simple to use and automated solution. Very easy. You saw how simple it was to craft up a text and send it. The automated dashboard is even easier. Set up messaging, forget about it, let it go to work for you based on your needs and the integration. But our onboarding process is very simple. Very, very simple. You can be up and running and connected to Retail Pro on the integration, typically same day or within 24 hours. We do most of it for you in terms of setting up your account and working with you and provisioning your account to connect to Retail Pro. The second piece would be SAM, our smart automated messaging solution that integrates with your POS. Our experience, we call ourselves Texperts. We're experts at texting, and we have over 13 years experience and understand this technology. We're officially a preferred and integrated partner of MX Data and Retail Pro. And you're going to receive customer training material, live training with an account manager, and ongoing customer support. So we do provide all three levels and all three phases of support, including, account management. All right, so in terms of next steps, as we wrap up this webinar here, if you'd like to request a customized demo for yourself or your business, or ask questions, custom questions, or get further information, or if you're simply ready to turn on SAM and start messaging, please contact Megan at MX Data or your MX Data rep with the contact information there on the bottom. And we'd love to listen to your objectives, see if there's any challenges or any areas of the business that we can help with, and customize an automated solution based on your business needs. So with that being said, I'm very thankful to meet everyone today and present as an introduction our SMS solution integrated with Retail Pro. And at this juncture, I'd like to open it up for any questions.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you so much for the presentation. There was a lot of good information here. It does appear that we have a couple questions coming in. I am happy to read them, or you can, there is like a little box on the side on the right that you can pop out the questions.
Yep. Let me see. Show. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions in there, Megan.
Okay, I'll go ahead and read the first one. So the first one, how do you get pre-existing Retail Pro customers to opt in?
Great question. That's always been a question that's come up over the years. We work with retailers, we work with restaurants, we work with health clubs, and many of them have pre-existing data. And it's not only our job, right, to provide a phenomenal solution to you that helps with engagement, communication, and marketing, but it's also our job to make sure that you're compliant with messaging. So we've built this software to protect our customers from operating out of any kind of compliance. There's no gray. It's all black or white, right? So the solution is buttoned up from that aspect. In the terms of pre-existing data, we will have discussions with you about that uniquely. In some cases, you might have consent in place already for text messaging. And in that scenario, it's a plug and play. We can load that data in, and you can send a welcome message to them and start messaging. If no prior consent was given, and therefore, then we need to grow the list organically, right? And you'd have to grow the list organically at point of sale with new customers, and then have a way to market back to your pre-existing customers via email, social media, and other channels, introducing your text program, welcoming them to your text program, and showing them how they can join or participate by marketing a keyword to them, a QR code, an online sign-up form, or when they come back into the establishment, sending them a welcome message through Retail Pro integration.
Great, thank you. And then another question, which I think we kind of did talk about, but this is a very important question that I think we can address again. So can consumers opt out later via SMS after having previously opted in?
Yes. So they can opt out at any time. So every message will have an unsubscribe option at the bottom. And that is a universal keyword, stop. And if someone replies stop to a campaign or any message, that flags them in the database as an opt-out. And our system manages that data for you. They do not receive any messages again unless they opt back in. And yes, they can opt back in at the store, on your website, or through the keyword or QR code.
Okay, great. And then here's another good question. So what is the best way for customers to match retail promotions that they've built through Retail Pro through text messaging?
So real quick, the scenario in question is they built a campaign within Retail Pro, and then that campaign was sent via email?
Yes.
Perfect. So then that creative piece or that content can be uploaded into our system and be sent out via SMS with a link or MMS with the creative image directly. So that would at this juncture, that would have to be an import over, I believe. But we could potentially expand upon our integration with Retail Pro to have that content or that campaign funnel to our system to be attached immediately to a text message. But right now, the safe answer would be you would download that campaign, upload it into our system to send out on a URL link or via MMS.
Great. It looks like those are all the questions that have come in so far. Maybe we just give it a few more minutes to see if anyone has any additional questions for Nick before we wrap it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say if you're using text messaging today, I think it's great. We all need texting to some capacity in today's day and age. I would encourage to compare. Since we're integrated with your POS system, I'm confident and believe that we can give you a more well-rounded and complete automated solution. So I definitely encourage you to compare. If you're not text messaging today, connect with us. Let's meet for a personalized demo. We can show you this solution in action. We also have pilots and trials available as well. So I'd love to chat with you. Megan would as well. We'd love to help you. This is at the end of the day, this is what this solution is for, to help you better communicate and engage with your audience and drive that bottom line.
Oh, I do have one more question. So pricing, can you please explain how the pricing works?
Yeah, it's a good question. So there's different pricing models. We typically see two. We have monthly subscriptions, right? Monthly subscriptions come with a specific amount of messages that you can send out each month. And I'll pull some examples up here on the screen. For example, $99 as an intro package, you can send 4,000 messages per month. Message credits is what the terminology is, right? So any message that leaves the system is a message used. It comes out of your message credit allotment. When consumers text you or they reply back, there is no charge out of your allotment for incoming messages. That's free and unlimited. You're only charged a message credit for messages that leave the system. Here's another quick example on the credits. If you send a text message to 500 people, that's 500 credits used. It's per number, per delivery, per send. Our system will also manage undeliverables for you. I forgot to mention when we were in the software. Undeliverable, undeliverables meaning if you got a landline that you put in your POS or an invalid number and you try to send a text message to it, our system will let you know that it's not a mobile number, right? So you can see who's not getting your communication, and more importantly, you're not wasting message credits on numbers you can't send a message to. But basically, monthly subscriptions are all based on outbound message volume, how many messages you want to send out each month, and on the first of each month, it'll reload you with a fresh batch of messages based on the package that you're on. So our customers have two options. They can say they can be capped at their messaging each month, meaning once they exhaust their limit, they can't send anymore unless they upgrade. Some of our customers as well don't like that approach, and they want to be placed on an overage. And that means that anything that they send beyond their base package amount, there would be an overage fee applied. And that overage is typically 0.0125, which is about a penny and a quarter, just over a penny per text, right? So it's, from that standpoint, on a per text basis, it's very cost effective. We don't do contracts. We never have in our 13-year history. Okay, you're going to get value from this solution. We're going to ensure that you get value from our implementation and onboarding. You can upgrade, downgrade, freeze, or cancel at any time. And there's no setup fee or integration fee. So it's very easy to get started, right? So you have monthly subscriptions. And then we also have pay-per-use options for lower volume users that don't want to go on a monthly subscription. They're going to have limited volume each month, and they would buy X amount of messages. And then there's no expiration date on those messages. For example, you might pay $50 for 1,500 messages, and those messages do not expire. And when they run out or when they're exhausted, you can load more. So the answer to that is there's monthly subscriptions, and then there's pay-per-use prepaid options as well.
Great, thank you. Well, I don't see any other questions coming through right now, so I think it's safe to say that we can conclude this webinar. And I really want to thank you so much for participating and giving us your time today. And to all of our customers that are listening, as Nick said, if you have additional questions or you'd like to set up a personalized demo, please feel free to email me and I will go ahead and line that up for you. So thank you everybody for attending, and have a great rest of your afternoon.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.